Meet up in mile 2. I've been thinking, instead of leaving, maybe we'll take this to part 2. Kilo de baby, why'd you have to go? Don't you see the pain I feel? Kilo de honey, I'm in love with you, no matter what you do. I hope I don't forget to breathe. When I'm around you, don't do me so tin. Up in the morning, thinking about you, hope I don't forget to breathe. When I'm around you, don't do me so tin. Up in the morning, thinking about you.
You see me, I don't like it when you talk like that.
I thought you said you about all I said.
Yes, I do, but you're only saying this because I'm here in town.
I love you really, truly. Can't you see my heart is beating just for you?
Just for me, I hope I don't forget to breathe. When I'm around you,
You don't do me strong, tin. Up in the morning, thinking about.
I hope I don't forget to breathe. When I'm around you, you don't do me strong, tin. Up in the morning, thinking about you. Hope I don't forget to breathe. When I'm around you, you don't do me strong, tin. Up in the morning, thinking about you.
I've been thinking, instead of leaving, maybe we'll take this to part 2.
There's so much going on with us youths and teens today, and not many people are talking about it.
You're probably not listening to the right things.
Really? Is there someone addressing these issues?
Yeah. Tune in to GX, the Generation X show with Onyinyechi Ekumankama on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM. And let's talk about everything. Youth, teens, and child-related, including the things no one wants to talk about. The GX show with Onyinyechi Ekumankama this Saturday on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM.
Welcome back, still 99.3 Nigeria Info, and you're currently tuned into the Generation X show with Onyinyechi Ekumankama. This is the GX show, and I am your host, Onyinyechi Ekumankama. This is that show that caters to the younger generation, where we discuss issues that concern us. And in the long run, we've realized that most of the issues, if not all the issues that concern the younger generation, concern the older generation as well. So in actual fact, the show is for everybody. However, our major target audience is the younger generation. That being said, today we're going to be discussing human trafficking. The World Day Against Human Trafficking, or trafficking in persons, comes up every year on the 30th of July. And we're having the conversation about it on the show this morning. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that on this World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, let us reaffirm our commitment to stop criminals from ruthlessly exploiting people for profit and to help victims rebuild their lives. Human trafficking trafficking is a crime that exploits women, children, and men for numerous purposes, including forced labor and sex. And the UN has recorded that since 2003, the UN Office on Drugs and Crime has collected information about 225,000 victims of trafficking detected worldwide. I beg your pardon. And every country in the world is affected by this practice. Whether it's a country of origin, transit, or a destination for victims. And I'd like to ask you, the listener, that did you know that human trafficking is considered modern day slavery? How, you may ask? The truth is there are more slaves today than any time in history. And this is because the modern slavery has been packaged in such a way that it's hidden from view. So you're seeing it, but you're not realizing that this is modern slavery in play. You're not recognizing the people in the kitchens, in the shops, in gas stations, in hospitality. You're not recognizing these things because you don't know. But that's the purpose of this show. We're here to open up the eyes of the public and have a conversation on this. Also, interesting fact, human trafficking is one of the largest international crime industries in the whole world, alongside illegal arms and drug trafficking. Ladies and gentlemen, to have the conversation with us on the GX show this morning is a dogged multi-award winning investigative and digital savvy journalist with a niche for development and solutions driven data journalism, as well as multimedia stories. She mainly investigates human rights abuses, corruption, health, and regulatory failures. Her name is Tobore Ovuorie. She is the founder of Media Initiative Against Human Trafficking and Women's Rights Abuse, known as MIAHWRA. Tobore, I have been looking forward to this conversation ever since I found out who you were, and I am so sure that by the time our listeners are done listening to today's episode, they would understand why. Good morning, and thank you so much for coming on the show this morning with us.
Good morning, Onye. I was almost going to shout, yay, you got my surname right.
I'm so glad. I mean, I have a surname that's difficult to pronounce as well, so I know how it feels when, people batter it. So I try my best to, pronounce every name, no matter where it's from in the country or outside. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. All right, Tobore. One of your most famous articles or stories, is the one where you went undercover and exposed the cartel of human traffickers. It's a movie in real life. Please walk us through that process. I mean, from the beginning, why you chose to do it, why you chose to put your life on the line, because it's a very, very risky thing that you did. And you came out, it's not like you came out clean, you came out with bruises, you came out with, some mental challenges as a result of the things that you witnessed. Please walk us through that process.
Let me start by stating, I didn't deliberately decide to put myself in harm's way.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because in journalism school, part of the rules we are taught, or they still teach it, is no story is worth your life.
Your life.
So I would want to, let me just rejig it.
It's allowed.
The story, I get to say, it was just a mistake around the corner that led to the nasty aspects. Not that we set out for such a nasty outcome, no. While mapping a story, okay, that experience taught me this subsequently.
Okay.
That while mapping a story, one must always, especially something of such nature, we must always have at the back of our mind that there could, and it's over 70% of the time, that there could be an X factor somewhere that should be taken note of. Okay. My team and I didn't take note of that.
Okay.
So I would own up on that. However, we didn't set out that, we want this person to go into harm's way. No, we're not that careless.
Okay.
But that's already stated. We just wanted to find out the process. We wanted to know the process.
That's of human trafficking.
Yes. How is it done? The claims of women and young women out there when they get caught by security operatives in other country and they get to say, oh, we didn't know what they were bringing us here for. We just wanted to know the narrative, how accurate were the narratives out there. And to be honest, I was contacted. I was working elsewhere. So I was contacted by Evelyn Grunick. That was in 2013, earlier 2013. I think that was the first quarter of 2013 that she contacted me. And before then, I already had an experience of losing somebody very close to me, to traffickers, somebody that till date, I still don't know her side of the story because she had died. I still don't know her side of the story, but she wasn't the kind of person that would meddle into
that would have
such.
signed up for such if she knew.
Not that she's not even that type at all. Even in death, I can defend her. She wasn't that type that would get meddled up and such. So I knew something had gone wrong somewhere. Unfortunately, by the time I was able to get to Benin City, Edo State, she was no more. So that really got me interested in anything trafficking. So years later, 2013, when Evelyn Grunick, an editor, investigation editor of ZAM Chronicles, got in touch with me after getting my contact details from the head of investigations then, I agreed. It's like somebody contacting you, oh, Onyinye, we want you, blah, 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 something presentation. This is something you do. Even if you're tapped from sleep, you would start speaking. So it's something I was really interested in, something that had a part of me numb because there were questions I wasn't getting answers to. So I agreed. However, I had to state it. I cannot rob Peter to pay Paul. That means I can't be working elsewhere and doing such for another organization. That would be awful, as in against good conscience. I wouldn't do that. So that led to my porting to the other organization. Worked through the process, had to join others on the street as a sex worker. Persons who really know me, as in know me to the point of home. I recall that period, the wearing extremely short stuffs, heels and all that. Some persons really know me to the point of who ran into me on the streets of Abuja were like,
is this the Tobore that we know?
I know. Omo pastor. No. Or has Abuja changed this girl? We know how to be fashionable, but not this type of fashion. I don't discuss my stories with people. Then I was engaged. Even my fiance then didn't even know at all.
I mean, that's what undercover is. Your loved ones can't know because...
Your job as a journalist, the only person I owe an explanation is my editor, no one else. My parents didn't even know what I was working on. My parents actually don't know stuffs I do. I keep everything under wrap.
Which is for their own safety too, because some things are so delicate and sensitive, you don't want to get them involved.
The only thing I recall vividly is my fiance then was based in Kaduna, and he didn't know that when I breezed into Kaduna, he will be getting to hear for the first time that I wasn't breezing into Kaduna because of him. It was because of the investigation. I had places to go to, and there is no way I would come into Kaduna wearing wrappers and all that when I'm going for certain stuffs. So I recall there was a Sunday I turned up in church in one of those scandalous outfits. Looking back now,
can't even imagine the chaos that caused.
I doff my hat to the young man, though we're no longer together. I doff my hat. You know what it means when security at the church had to see here. We don't dress like this, so. And I simply just looked at him. Well, no be your fault. That was what I told myself. No be your fault. And I have a friend to the young man I was to get married to then had told me as an aside that this guy is complaining about your dressing, that you just changed drastically. You, as in, to the extent that you came to church skimpily dressed. Have you forgotten you are in northern Nigeria? You are in northern Nigeria. Skimpily dressed with extremely high heels and hair touching your hip.
Tobore 2.0 360. They didn't see it coming.
The young man was complaining behind me that she has changed. She has changed. And one of those occasions, I recall a mutual friend of ours, actually his own friend, but by far senior to us, came to the house. I was asking him, they didn't know I heard, was asking him, is she now changing for the better? I guess after the story was published was when
they understood.
The young man was able to fix all the puzzles. But unfortunately, as at that time, the center could no longer hold. That's part of the effect of investigative journalism. Yeah, the center could no longer hold. Everything got scattered. Well, mingling with sex workers, trying to get needed information, trying to win their trust. That's just the basic. You can't just go to them
start asking questions.
I beg, if it help me enter Italo, no one will take you serious. You have to be a part of them. You have to be one of them doing the stuffs they do. Okay, I don't smoke. I don't drink. People who know me very well know I don't drink. But for the purpose of the story, there is no way I would be with the others. And I would tell them,
like them,
I don't smoke, I don't drink. Suspicion.
It was straight up.
Straight up. Suspicion. You know they drink, you know they smoke. And you
who say you come? Who say you come?
They will not even ask who say you come. They will first start with beat.
Wow.
I recall one of those occasions. It was a party, an exclusive party at a. I still have pictures, images of that party up my memory. And due to the story, I will join others to smoke cigarettes and drink. But at that party, it was something else that was given, and there is no way I could say no. And mind you, I'm managing asthma.
Oh my.
Yeah. So inhaling that stuff landed me in the hospital. And luckily for me, a private hospital in Games Village. Those who live in Abuja should know Games Village. In Games Village, luckily they had oxygen, they had nebulizers, and so I was on admission. In fairness to my then bosses, they didn't know I was managing asthma. So it was when I landed in the hospital that they were getting to know for the first time that I was managing asthma. And my then managing editor, Musikilu Mojid, he's I don't want to use staunch. He is this upright Muslim. And it was, they're already giving you things to smoke and drink. I could see the confusion in him that that wasn't something he would want his daughter or younger sister to go through. And I told him, see, sir, we have started. It be like say we don't reach the middle. We just have to continue. There is no going back. That was the point of confusion for the team. No managing editor who still has good conscience will now discover my reporter is managing asthma. And okay, asthma aside, my reporter is being given stuffs to smoke and drink.
I mean, and to the point where she's in the hospital as a result of it.
Yeah, and they had to pay the big hospital bill, private hospital, expensive area.
I mean, if you know how much oxygen in the hospital alone costs,
Hey,
you'll be
it costs
thankful for the
money.
free one
Oh.
you are getting. Trust me.
It costs money. Oxygen, then the nebulizers cost real money. But we continued. Well, let me fast forward. I eventually ended in Lagos. It was somebody who had to, of course, a trolley that connected me with the final group I was to travel with. There were different other persons at the background of this story. So when I get to hear people say Tobore, I say, no, it's not a Tobore story. There are several other persons at the background, scouting for different groups, trafficking persons. I recall my then investigation editor connected me with somebody in Edo State, and the person was helping me with different groups. Unfortunately, many of them were trafficking folks to Spain. So it's not really just a Tobore thing. No, there are several other persons. I would want the public to understand that when you see a story and you see byline, there are several other persons. It's a team effort. There are several other persons at the background. Maybe it's just the reporter's name that is just showing there alone in the byline. No, there are several other persons. So it's not just a Tobore thing. No. Different groups I came across, but they were heading elsewhere. Some to Spain, some to Amsterdam. But the real group we needed was Italy. Well, eventually, a trolley got in touch with me with another trolley. And
What is a trolley?
Oh, okay.
So we're all carried along.
Now, in the process of trafficking, let's say this computer is the person to be trafficked.
Okay.
See, traffickers, that's a product. They don't see human
As a
beings,
person,
they see products. So that's the product to be taken out.
Wow.
Now, I am not the big madam. I'm not the trafficker. As in the trafficker. If I'm the one who have been able to speak to this person, or the person has opened up his or her vulnerability to me. Hunger won't kill me. No work, this, that. My auntie, they show me pepper. I will then finger the person's brains. You dare hear the door yourself. I feel take you go. And I watch the person's reaction. Oh, this person is interested. That's already
This person
deception.
is desperate enough to do anything to get the money.
Vulnerable. I'm already deceiving the person. This is the definition of trafficking. I just want to simplify it.
Simplify, yeah.
But I'm not the big madam that has all the control and everything in Italo. Let's use Italy as the case study. I now contact another person. That other person is also a trolley. I'm a process. I'm in between.
You're in between. You're the middleman.
The middleman. Maybe I will connect to this person. Maybe I will get in touch with another trolley. But if my level don't high reach and I know the madam, I will simply auntie
direct.
Person deo. The auntie will now, okay, you don't do the work on top of I see they do the work. I go bring the product. You get. So that makes me a trolley. I'm a middleman.
Okay.
So it's now my work to get this person out of his or her zone. I'm also using a male. That's the product could also be a male, could be a child. Even adult males are being trafficked. They are being trafficked. Yes, they are being trafficked. So it is now my work as a trolley to get this person out of her zone, out of her location. Then transport the person to another location. Mind you, for trafficking to take place, there has to be recruitment, fingering that person's brain, tearing out the lies and everything.
Manipulating.
Yes, that is, I'm already recruiting the person. Then I transport the person out of his or her safe zone elsewhere. Mind you, trafficking is not only when you take somebody out of Nigeria. You can take somebody from the village and bring the person to Lagos, and you've trafficked the person.
Yeah.
The person starts working as house girl.
Exactly, modern day slavery. That's what we're saying.
House girl, when they receive salary for the work where they do, the money is going elsewhere. Then, in short, down that age, that one they vex me past. I want to use the street language, not the fine English. No, that one they vex me past. Now, I take this person out of the safe zone. If I have direct contact with the madam, then
you go.
Now the person,
and of course you get your commission.
Oh, of course, everything is being done because of money. Then I could still join auntie in pushing this person out of the country. That's if the person, if the destination is outside Nigeria, I could still join in pushing the person out of the country. Or auntie, that's the madam, may want to take it up from there. And that is where force comes in. Madam, I don't already pay. I have paid, whether you like it or not. See, you better send pay if you want to stay alive. You better chill if you want to stay alive. That is where the force comes in. Everything is being done just for exploitation. It could be forced labor. It could be sexual exploitation. Everything is just exploitation. But mind you, there is an addition. There is also organ harvesting. The organ. They harvest organs. That's also a form of trafficking. They harvest organs. So that's what I mean by trolling. Yeah.
All right, Tobore, let me stop you there real quick, please. We need to go on a very short break. I'm carried away, honestly. But when we come back, the conversation still continues with Tobore. Stay tuned. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Babe, your party last night was the bomb.
I am in serious trouble.
How come?
I spent a lot and I used up funds for my new business.
I have a solution for you. Fair Money will loan you the money you need.
Fair Money?
Yeah, Fair Money give loans for school fees, for side hustle, or any emergency. Fair Money is that financial partner that helps you smash all your goals.
How do I go about it?
Open Google Play Store, download Fair Money app. You don't need collateral or sign plenty papers.
I just got an alert in less than 5 minutes.
Just visit fairmoney.ng for more info.
Explore more and spend less with Etihad Airways. Fly to Abu Dhabi and hundreds of destinations around the world with the latest 787 Dreamliner economy offer. Soak up the sun on Abu Dhabi's white sandy beaches from $570. Discover the sights and sounds of Mumbai from $740. Explore the bustling city of London from $720. Book by the 2nd of August 2019 for travel until the 29th of February 2020. Book now at Etihad.com. Etihad Airways. Choose well.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the GX Show on 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Onyinyechi Ekumankama, and today we're discussing human trafficking as World Day Against Trafficking in Persons is fast approaching. It's marked on the 30th of July every year. And having this conversation with us is a multi-award winning investigative and digital savvy journalist, the founder of Media Initiative Against Human Trafficking and Women's Rights Abuse, MIAHWRA, Tobore Ovuorie. Welcome back. Thank you so so much for joining us. The first half has been eye-opening, and you're definitely coming back again. Hopefully, God willing, your schedule allows you to. I was honestly thinking, we don't even go to the phone lines. People are already calling, but there's still so much we haven't touched. So we'll try our best to structure the timing so that in the last 10 to 15 minutes of the show, we can take some calls. But let's get back to the conversation, Tobore. You were telling us about the trolley. Now we understand what a trolley is, or who a trolley is, because I mean that's the person involved in that process. So you were saying the trolley, someone introduced you to another trolley?
Yes, somebody introduced me to another trolley.
Okay.
And I had to come down to Lagos. I'm really trying to summarize because it's
I'm sure, of course. How long did this whole investigation take?
I would say officially, I started it June 2013, and it ended November 2013. Although before that official June, I had
started
after Evelyn contacted me, and I told her until I leave where I am for the other place, I can't officially begin. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to the story. The summarized version.
A trolley got me in touch with another trolley, and so the other trolley had to make me understand I have to come to Lagos because Lagos will be the takeoff point. But before coming down to Lagos, I just remembered, let me state, the whole process was quite dehumanizing.
I'm sure.
I felt objectified. Well, to them, they are not seeing human beings, they are seeing products. Because I recall one of those occasions, you go through a lot of, I don't want to use the word sampling, I would say testing quotes. I never expected this. I'd gone to see a particular auntie in Abuja, and she then hope is not just a thing of say you just fine for face, say spotless face. We want to be certain of what we go this and take out. And she had me to take off my clothes. To be honest, I was within me. And she was not the only one.
Wow.
Yeah, she wasn't the only one. And so they had to check me from head to toe, how spotless, how smooth. I found that objectifying.
It is. It's dehumanizing in every way.
I recall after that particular incident, I couldn't proceed to the office. I just went back home, turned on the AC, put down the curtain, locked the door. I didn't want anybody around me, and I forced myself to sleep. I still remember. Okay, I put my phone in silence. I forced myself to sleep. And by the time I would wake up late in the night, I saw several missed calls from my then managing editor. But there was no way I could see him the next day and tell him, Oga Moji, they say make I comot cloth. I couldn't. Yeah, he later read my report, but
I'm sure they too were like,
yeah,
is this what we put you through, or what?
I couldn't face him to tell him that, sir, the reason why you called me as in continuously yesterday and I could not take the call is because I just went back home. I couldn't just come to the office because I was already destabilized. I felt like I had to strip in front of, and not only females.
Of course. Wow.
I couldn't tell him, as in I was sitting before a male to I couldn't. I knew deep down within me that if I was able to summon the courage to tell him such, even his own day would be spoiled that day. His day would have been...
Because they might have just said, you know what, let's abort this mission. That's the end. We've gotten enough for work with what we have.
Especially the Ogamoji that I know. It would have... Nah. Everything is playing back in my memory again. So got to Lagos, but Lagos turned out to be nasty. Yeah. The pickpocket sessions, what I never budgeted for. You know, these moments, they are smiling, the next moment. Then, Madame Caro, I wouldn't know if she's the madam herself or if she's also a trolley, because I didn't end up in Italy with them. But now witnessing people being killed, that's something I've never witnessed all my life.
And gory ways from people who have seen the story, it's not just terrible, bloody, gory killings.
Yeah. Before then, yes, I know I've gone to the morgue for stories. I've gone to cemeteries for stories. But I'd never witnessed life killings. Please, could we go for a
Yes, please, we will go for a break. We'll be back. Stay with us on the GX Show. You're welcome back. Still the GX Show on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're having a conversation on World Day Against Trafficking in Persons with Tobore Ovuorie. World Day Against Trafficking in Persons comes up every 30th of July. And we've been having an in-depth conversation with Tobore, as she is the journalist, an investigative journalist who went undercover and, uncovered a cartel of human traffickers. And you cannot imagine the things that she went through unless you actually been through it yourself. And we had to take a break right there because, of course, no matter how long ago it was, these things still are in your memory like it was yesterday. And, she just needed a timeout. Thank you so much, Tobore, for coming. I can't imagine how many times you've had to tell this story, and it's not a pleasant one, this part of it. But basically, we're talking about the killings, the live killings that she witnessed, and the reasons why, because some will be wondering, okay, why are you harming your victims? Human traffickers are known to not harm their victims because they want to use them over and over again. But the reason this was done was because they needed body parts. They were harvesting organs, and of course, you had to end someone's life to get their body parts. So it must have been tragic. And Gori, can I just say that you are a very strong person, because
funny enough, I don't
this would have, you wouldn't, but we see you, doesn't mean you aren't.
I don't see myself as strong.
This would have messed some people up. And I even understand that after a while you had to go away outside of the country to seek psychological
it did mess me
care up, because that's how in-depth this was.
Yeah, it did mess me up. So I really don't see myself as strong. I consider myself just favored. I wouldn't want to use the word lucky. Just favored. I would say I consider myself favored because, like now when I get to speak with kids about trafficking, I make them understand that, see, there is the trafficking, there's trafficking itself, and there's post-trafficking. If you are lucky enough to still be alive, you get to where you've been trafficked to. And you are lucky enough to still be alive to be returned to Nigeria. Deported to Nigeria. That forget all those tales of, when you finish paying your bondage, there is a bondage fee. That, you now become a madam yourself, and life becomes beautiful ever after. You get to build mansions. Now lie, as in terrible lie from the deepest part of hellfire. I let them understand when I get to speak with kids, if you are lucky to return to the country alive, you don't return unscathed. There is the mental aspect coming down with depression, and mental health issues is still sort of new to us here.
It's just beginning to understand.
And we have very few psychiatrists in the country. They are not even up to 200. The doctors and the nurses joined together, they are not up to 200. Meaning it's not every hospitals that have psychiatrists. And mind you, many are leaving the country.
Yeah.
So I get to let them understand that, see, it's quite expensive. The care when you are back to the country, it's quite expensive. Is it parents who are looking for where the next meal will come from, that we have your time to dedicate some thousands of naira to, as in every month, for just the mental aspects? And it's not a one-off thing. It's not, it's like malaria that you take this combination and bye-bye, malaria is gone. No.
And there's no
it's
given
not
time
even
frame.
6 months. There's no time frame. There is no time frame. So even if you are lucky to come in contact with a psychiatrist, and for somebody who has been trafficked, and the person has gone through all the horrors and everything, it's most likely it's a consultant psychiatrist that will need to attend to the person. And consultant psychiatrists, they are very busy people, and they are quite scarce in Nigeria. I'm speaking from experience. That's why I say I am favored. I recall before I was shipped out of the country, there was this injection I was being given twice a month. The injection is not regular injection. Its own syringe is special. The injection comes in a mobile refrigerator.
Okay.
So when I get to the hospital will have to call the pharmacist. You can come over now. So the guy rushes down. They had to specifically train some nurses on how to use the special syringe. So it's not all the nurses in the hospital that knew how to use the syringe. And immediately the injection is brought out of the refrigerator, they have to quickly apply and inject me. It must not stay out of the refrigerator for long. A dose then was 50,000 naira, meaning a month, 2 doses, 100,000. This is besides medication and every other. That's why I say I consider myself a favored person. And this continued for months. I am a favored person. That's why I said I am a favored person. Now, what is the minimum wage in the country? No, when I get to speak with kids, I let them on what is it now. Don't feel bad though that I'm asking you, mommy, daddy, if they are working their salary, join together, how much is it? That they will be able to dedicate then 2014. 100, it should be more than that now. That injection should be more than that now. Then before you talk about your medications, they are quite expensive. I recall I started off on 11 different medications, and gradually they were being weaned. I was being weaned off them gradually. I'm still on medication. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Wow. And this is how many years after?
This is 6 years after.
Yeah, I'm still on medication. So I get to help the kids, and to anyone listening now, not just the kids I get to speak with, I'm still stating the same thing. If you are lucky to return to Nigeria alive, there is a post-trafficking you are going to face. You may not understand why others are staring at you like, is this person normal? When you are talking to yourself, when you get angry easily, you're fighting everybody, flinging plates and everything all over the place, those are symptoms. Or when you just stop eating, you can't sleep, you are counting the ceiling boards in the night. Or you are, in my own case, I was sleeping, as in, when you say sleep, hey, initially I couldn't sleep. Then later I started sleeping. Then from a size 6, I became, as I was just exploding to the point that I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror. You know what it means when you attend a colleague's wedding and nobody agrees na picture with you. It was much more later, much more, as in years later, when I was really getting into shape and all that a friend who was equally at that wedding then told me, Tobore, we don't fit tell you there now. You be wah. You were ugly.
Not even ugly, ugly.
You were ugly. That's how we did it. Snap.
Oh my goodness. I see people have been calling in at different points. Honestly, try now. We have just a few more minutes to go, so we'd like to squeeze in as much as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, to join the conversation, ask questions, make comments. The numbers to call are 012770993, 012771993, 012772993, and 3993. Phone lines are ringing off the hook. WhatsApp is 0809 597 5805. Good morning, 99.3.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Hadiza. I'm calling right now from CBS.
Hadija.
Hadiza. I was listening to the program on my way here.
Okay, go on.
And I must say, like you said, that she's a very strong lady. At some point, I broke down in tears.
Wow.
Because I studied mass communication, and I was actually looking into this investigative journalism. Yeah, but I am actually not practicing at the moment. I remember then during my NYSC, we were to do a report on prostitutes, and my boss wanted me to go and kind of interview some of them. But then he took another. He was like, he doesn't think I'll be able to pull that off, because for me to interview them, I must have to give one of them.
And
so
gain
he
their
had
trust.
to go. Yeah, he had to now go and pretend like he wanted to go out with one of them and to have a short time with them. So yeah, when listening to her story, man, I really felt for her. My tears just started coming out. And when I heard the part, she stated that she witnessed life feelings and all that. She's a very strong woman.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
I'm grateful for what she actually put herself through.
Honestly.
Now now at least she can tell people, she's a live witness, she can tell them, she can actually tell people what is happening out there, that it's not rosy at all. It's not.
Thank you so much, Hadiza, for calling. I appreciate this a lot. Thank you very much for calling and for listening. Take care. Next caller, 99.3. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Onyi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Auntie, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Who do we have on the line, please? Christopher, yes?
This is Chris.
All right. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much. I really thank God for your life. When I hear you say you are favored, you are right, because you do that, it does investigation, right?
Yeah.
You didn't go to do such whatever they are doing, right? That is why God favored you. And only the group that handle this trafficking, what do they call it? NAPTIP. I mean, what?
NAPTIP.
Madam, have they reached out?
You said?
Have you reached out to them?
Okay, if NAPTIP. Oh.
We lost communication with connection,
him.
but I guess he's asking if you've reached out to NAPTIP.
I do know the NAPTIP officials very well, and some of them are quite close to me. And I don't know how to phrase the English. I don't work for NAPTIP, but when I get to know about trafficking cases, I think it was last week, I had to even alert the Lagos command about a particular person who has trafficked, a husband who has trafficked the wife and all that. And you people are opening your mouth. And I think it was last weekend. And the Lagos commander immediately swung into action. They are already working on that. So NAPTIP is I'm quite familiar with NAPTIP.
Okay, that's good. All right. 99.3, your name and where you're calling from. Please keep your comment or question very brief. We lost that one. How can people be so wicked? My goodness. 99.3, welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning, my sisters. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Fine, thank you.
My name is Alaji Arakano. I'm calling from Ifo, Ogun State.
All right, go on. Welcome to the show.
I want to speak about you as this ugly incident. I'm really happy for you, and you are very courageous. May Almighty God continue to be with you.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. 99.3, you're welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Remy. I'm calling from Akute.
Hi, Remy. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, I just want to, I want to salute. I'm currently washing at home, and I couldn't even continue what I was doing. I was thinking,
Remy, please call us back if you can, please. Thank you very much. 99.3, you're welcome.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Moses. I'm calling from Egbeda.
Oh, hi, Moses. Welcome.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Well done, Tobore, for the great revelation. This is quite revealing.
Thank you, sir.
And I hope you still go intermittently for post-traumatic stress disorder management.
I am.
This is very traumatizing, honestly. A quick one, I would want to, maybe for those who are listening, could you point out some points that maybe people should be worried about in terms of what could lead people to getting involved in such? Because with a very detailed experience and investigation, we would have known what are the factors that people should be aware of, what parents should be careful with, are there places parents should be wary about their children and all that. I think this will help us, at least for all those who are listening, to be more proactive in terms of preventing this, because honestly, for anyone who gets into this, it's really very dangerous, and I cannot imagine what you went through, and with the description of what you have gone through, this is very traumatizing. So please, could you just help us to wrap it up with things that people should be worried about, the conditions that can lead people into that, and where people, maybe places people should not go to. Some very spotlights that okay, these are areas that danger zones that people can just be manipulated.
All right, thank you very much, Moses. Thank you very much, Moses. So many calls, so little time, and we want you to answer Moses' question because it's very important. This will be our final caller this morning. 99.3, you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning. This is Remy calling back.
Okay.
I'm calling from Akusi.
Okay,
yes, I just want to salute her courage because I know what she's doing. She's doing it for humanity. And I pray that the Lord will heal her completely.
Amen.
You know, when I heard the stories, I know I was just shaking what our girls actually go through, all for money. You know, if we could only encourage our girls that there are other things you could do, you know, just to make money. If it's possible for us to speak to a lot of them, because there are so many. I know of a case too. I know of a neighbor that did that to her daughter, but all in the pretense of, oh, she's going to work somewhere. You know, they all have this idea that they're going to have some
greener
rosy jobs.
pastures.
Yeah, exactly, greener pastures in other places. And they also thank God, they do Thanksgiving. You know, that their children have traveled abroad and things like that. I just want to salute your courage. You know, it's not easy. You know, you'd have as well stopped the whole investigation from everything you were going through. But I just want to salute you. I want to greet you. You know, we are just praying for you that everything you have gone through will not turn your life upside down. It's a lesson. And I just want to thank you. You know, I want to thank you for everything you are doing for us girls. You know, all in the name of looking for greener pastures and money. God bless you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, Remy. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we can't take any more calls this morning. And it's interesting because, I mean, what we said about greener pastures, especially when you go back to the village now, the rural areas, and, you know, some parents will see other people's children, they come back, they build massive houses for their parents, and they're wondering how did they do it, and someone comes and offers them to take their child somewhere in the guise of, you know, work, education, not knowing it's for these purposes, and they just willingly let their children go. I mean, what they're getting some money at the end of the month, so their child is doing okay, not knowing. And I was wondering, is it illiteracy? What causes it? And you said that, interestingly, when you were in that process, majority of all the girls there,
I traveled with, they were graduates.
They were graduates.
Yep.
There's no way this conversation can end today. It's already 10:59.
I'm supposed to be in Oshogo next week, Saturday, but wait, the stuff I've heard via phone calls, I will be here next week.
Oh my
Saturday.
God, are you kidding me? Thank you so much. Thank you
I'll
so
be here
much.
next
Look
week
at,
yeah.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you very much.
But for the caller, was
Moses.
it Chris? Okay, Moses.
Yes, let's address that. Thank you so much,
Moses,
Tobore.
first thing, parents, teach your kids to watch the association. Even the young ones, young ladies, young men, watch the association you keep. It's either you rub off on them or they will rub off on you. And God helps you. If they are the type that will do just anything for money, no good conscience, they will sell you. They will. These days, many persons will do just anything for money. 2, for those who are saying, there are no jobs in Nigeria, I want to hammer. Hey, poverty has finished me. If somebody comes to you, okay, now let me address this specifically to young ladies. You look at yourself in the mirror, I am pretty. And someone now comes to you modeling. And the package, everything sounds too good to be true.
Believe it. It's
Believe
too good
it
to be
because it is too good to be true. Pull your shoes. You don't have that time to pull shoes. Fear, race, Japani, run. If it sounds too good to be true, then it is wash. It is too good to be true. Let me give just 2 highlights for now. When I'm back, by God's grace, next week Saturday, Amen, we have a more robust conversation.
Thank you very much. Please, before then, people that would love to read in detail the reports, how can they have access to it?
Zam Chronicles. What was the title?
I know what. Just Google her.
The Next Level. The Next Level / Zam Chronicles. You'll have it.
Okay, The Next Level / Zam Chronicles. Or easily, you could just Google Tobore Ovuorie. That's Tobore Ovuorie. Trust me, when you put Tobore, her name will pop up. Thank you so much, Tobore. We have to go. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for changing your plans for us. That's amazing. Thank you so much. God bless you. Looking forward to the conversation again. How can we keep up with you on social media after now?
Facebook, Tobore Meet. The Meet is MIT Ovuorie.
Okay.
Then on LinkedIn, still Tobore Ovuorie. On Instagram, at Daughter of Meat. The meat is MIT. At Daughter of Meat. I'm not really a Twitter person. I know that fight. That's a war zone.
It is a war zone, Twitter. But thank you so much, Tobore. Tobore will be back next Saturday, God willing, at 10 a.m. on the GX show. Stay tuned. Tell everyone you know to stay tuned as well and listen. This is 99.3 Music and Moments coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Explore more and spend less with Etihad Airways. Fly to Abu Dhabi and hundreds of destinations around the world with the latest 787 Dreamliner economy offer. Soak up the sun on Abu Dhabi's white sandy beaches from $570. Discover the sights and sounds of Mumbai from $740. Explore the bustling city of London from $720. Book by the 2nd of August 2019 for travel until the 29th of February 2020. Book now at Etihad.com. Etihad Airways. Choose well.